Our MO is the same every time we step on the floor. We have to be doing the same thing, getting out, running, that's our game. We can't take for granted who the opponent is, we just have to come out and play Lady Cat basketball.
You can try and take that, but we're the gladiators. keeping their eyes closed. The sun's starting to light up when we're walking home. Tired little laughs, gold black promises. We'll always win at this. I don't ever think about death. It's alright if you do, it's fine. We're gladiating, but I guess we're really fighting ourselves. Laughing up our minds, so we're ready when the cue time comes. Wide awake in bed, words in my brain. Secretly you love this. Do you even wanna go free? Let me in the rain. I'll show you what that big boy means. You could try and take that, but we could gladiators. If you wanna reach out, we're secretly the same thing. We ain't gonna go hand in hand. That's why we're making headlines. You could try and take this, but victory's contagious.
Hey kids, do you wanna do what I do? Got sick, got kicked out of high school. I guess then I kinda got arrested with a car and a chase and a drug test. These days they don't wanna be near that, cause if it's selling records they don't wanna hear that. Clean cut, we do it like Disney. Well adjusted, trusted, trust me. Party anthems, get them dancing. Well I'm the king of second chancing. The airbrush shiny notoriety. They disappeared into the back to go and get high. Hey, oh, where did all the good go? Baby, this is where you're dead wrong. Alright, hey, oh, here's to all the zeros. Every misfit in all but down and out. Hey, oh, where did all the good go? Baby, this is where you're dead wrong. Alright, hey, oh, here's to all the zeros. Every misfit in all but down and out. You don't sing, you got a young look, so it's nothing out of tune can't fix though. MTV don't play videos, and no guitar was around on the radio. These days I kinda just pretend so. I guess I don't mind, it depends though. I get stuck to every innuendo, but it doesn't seem to matter in the end. So they say, where's the next hit, baby? God, how could I top? Call me maybe. Well, I'm delirious, she's my kiss. Let's disappear into the back to go and get serious. Hey, oh, where did all the good go? Baby, this is where you're dead wrong. Alright, hey, oh, here's to all the zeros. Every misfit in all but down and out. Hey, oh, where did all the good go? Baby, this is where you're dead wrong. Alright, hey, oh, here's to all the zeros. Every misfit in all but down and out. Oh, hallelujah, up for ransom. Cash value for hashtag anthems. Say it now. Hallelujah, up for ransom. Cash value for hashtag anthems.
Kouts Fillies. Congratulations. Clap for your trophy and a hand glove. Congratulations, Lady Trip, the Lady Bobcats and Nancy. Regional. That'll be announced on the IHSA website tomorrow. Whether it be at Crown Point or Warsaw.
In all but down and out.
was blowing my mind. Have you ever noticed every hurricane gets a turn from a girl like this? She's a cat of all kind, keeps you up at night, hanging on to the end of a kiss. She's a beautiful miss. You're the kind you love to love, but what happens next? I got a feeling when the sun comes up, I'm gonna wish I had a storm in the morning. I'm gonna wish I had a sign. I'm gonna wish I had a little heads up, little leeway, a little more time. For some kind of radar system locked in on love. I got a feeling by the time the night finds the morning, I'm gonna wish I had a storm in the morning. I'm gonna wish I had a storm warning. Ain't it funny how it feels when you're running your wheel somewhere between going and gone? You get so lost that you can't turn it off. You give in and you just turn it on. She's a hot girl, red lips like a flame. She's a girl from your favorite song. What a beautiful miss. One part angel, one part perfect, one part brick. The kind of flood you'll never forget. I'm gonna wish I had a storm warning. I'm gonna wish I had a sign. I'm gonna wish I had a little heads up, little leeway, a little more time. Some kind of radar system locked in on love. I got a feeling by the time the night finds the morning, I'm gonna wish I had a storm warning.
Congratulations. I've got to say, over the last 3 or 4 weeks, you definitely have to be seen as the most improved player. I can tell that a lot of the hard work that you put in, you played so well down the stretch, and you played a really great ball game tonight. I thought you did a great job manning the post. What can you say about the effort? I know it wasn't the prettiest game you guys played, maybe not the most well-played game you guys played, but down the stretch, you guys were able to make some key plays, some key shots, force some turnovers. It seemed like in the fourth quarter, in crunch time, just like the South Central game, you guys were able to slowly pull away.
Yeah, we knew it was gut check time, so we had to do everything we could to come home with the win. So,
what does this mean to you? Especially, you think about last year, you were sitting on that bench watching. You weren't really out there much for either one of these games, but tonight, you're a key player, you're a key contributor. If you don't come out and play the way you do, you guys aren't winning this game tonight.
well, it's a team effort. All 6 of us, or all of us, have an equal part. So I do my part, they do their part.
Well, what's your mindset going forward? You're going back to the semi-state. I don't know who won the other game, but if I'm going to guess, I'm going to say LCC probably won. So you might be looking at a rematch. This is a game that you played a little bit in last year. Now you're going to be a full-fledged contributor. What are your thoughts about that potential matchup?
We have to play one game at a time, and we just have to work our hardest, and we have to do what we do best.
Right, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, boy. Well, here we are, 1 year later. Last season, we saw a construction working student section rush the floor. Here you are 1 year later. You guys are regional champions once again. What are you feeling right now?
It's awesome. I mean, we're regional champs and we get to move up to 2A. I mean, we're making history. It's awesome.
And you think about it, tonight it was a grinder. I mean, you guys had the lead early. You got Crump in foul trouble, but Kouts was able to hang around. You guys aren't able to hit shots. What was key in turning this thing around in the second half and you guys being able to pull away in the fourth?
We just knew that we had to play hard defense, because when you play hard defense, your offense eventually builds off that. So we were looking for defensive steals and just anticipation for the goal.
Towards the end of the regular season, there were a few games, kind of like that Elkhart Central game, where it wasn't pretty, but you kind of utilized that stall game, and you guys did a pretty good job with that. You guys you had like a 7-8 point lead. You guys went to that tactic again tonight. How much did working on that stuff during regular season and a little bit in the sectional help you guys execute that game plan tonight?
I would say a lot, especially all our hard work over the summer helped a lot too. I mean, we're traveling different places, far places. I mean, next year we're going to Florida, so.
You're going to the semi-state game again. I don't have a final score, but I think LCC probably won. You guys probably expected to be playing them again. How badly do you want to win this thing and go back to state? How much does this mean to you?
A lot. That'd be awesome. You know, it'd be fun to do it with you know, us young people. They say, like, you know, we have no seniors, just juniors.
You know, they said you guys were a year away. You guys weren't supposed to win the sectional. You know, South Central, Culver, one of these other teams was supposed to be here, and not you guys. You know, what does it mean for you to prove so many people wrong?
It's great, honestly. Especially when you have all your fans behind you. You know that they're going to be with you every step of the way, and your family too. It's just great.
Well, hey, congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
And it's a different beast. I mean, you're trying to control one player for the most part. I think you can control Ogden. If you hold it. Well, here we are 1 year later. Last year, you know, you were celebrating a regional championship. You didn't have near the role in the game that you had tonight. I know last year you came in the final seconds to hit a three-point shot, but tonight, you know, you played a crucial role. You gave some good minutes. I know you knocked down a big three in the second half. What can you say about the effort tonight?
Our effort tonight, we knew we wanted to come out with the same intensity as we did for the sectional championship, and then this morning we came out pretty strong, I think, and so we wanted this so bad that we just came out on top.
What does it mean to you to prove people wrong? You know, I mean, you guys aren't immune to this stuff. You know what people are saying. You know, this is a young team. They're not ready for this level. You know, you guys weren't supposed to win the sectional. I mean, this was a team that was maybe a year away. You know, what does it mean to you to prove people wrong and keep winning and keep advancing in this tournament?
It feels awesome. We've been underestimated all season and in the sectional championship, and before this game we've been talking about how we wanted to move up to 2A and prove history and prove people wrong, and just we wanted this so bad.
Well, you move on to the semi-state, and you know, I'm pretty sure LCC won. I know they were winning late in that game. This would be a rematch game from last year. They have many of the same players that they had last year, so you guys kind of know what that challenge is like. What are your thoughts as you move on to a big ball game, a chance to advance to a state championship again? What are your thoughts on a potential rematch with LCC next week?
They're going to be tough, so we're really going to have a good week of practice and step up our game and step up our defense and just play with the same intensity as we've been playing with.
Well, hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, here we are 1 week later, and I'm standing here talking to you, so you know that means it's good news that you won tonight's game. Last year you were in this same situation. You had a bunch of construction workers rushing the floor after the game. Describe the emotion. You're back-to-back regional champs.
It's crazy. I mean, this time it's kind of different stakes. Now we're in 2A, we've made history on Oregon Davis, and I think it's awesome that we're able to engrave our names into Oregon Davis and leave a legacy behind. So that's the kind of emotion I'm feeling right now.
You know, we kind of talked about this a little bit last week, but I mean, there's a lot of people that have been doubting you guys all year and said, you know, you weren't supposed to be here. You're not supposed to win a sectional, and you're definitely not supposed to win a regional. But you know, the first game you guys came out on a tear. This one, it was kind of a grinder. You really had to grind things out. It was almost similar to like lacrosse or South Central, where it was a tight game down the stretch and you're able to pull away. What enabled you to slowly separate yourselves in the fourth quarter?
Our conditioning, definitely, and our intensity. The thing is, I think with any team, once you start playing not your game, you start to drop your head, and we did a little bit, and I told them, guys, this is fun, so we need to figure it out. And we did, and once we started having things go our way, we got a lot more intense, and then I think we just wore them out towards the end. They weren't ready to run with us, and that's what we did.
You know, towards the end of the regular season, there were a few games, like the Elkhart Central game, your second game in sectional against lacrosse, where you guys utilized that stall tactic in the second half. You didn't have a huge lead, but you had a big enough cushion. We were able to practice running that type of game plan. Having done that a couple of other times before tonight, how comfortable were you guys in executing that game plan?
You know, it's kind of strenuous because it's nerve-wracking a little bit because you got one person going one-on-one and then you pass the ball and then they're going one-on-one. So it's a little nerve-wracking, but I think our ball handling skills, even down to our post, Alex Pope. Now I'm not going to say she needs to throw the ball up and down the floor, but she's got pretty good handles for a 6'2" post. So I think it definitely helps that we have the handles that we do and we have the capability to switch anybody out in that position.
Well, you move on to the semi-state next week, and I'm pretty sure LCC hung on and won. They were leading late in that game. It would be a rematch from last year's semi-state game. I mean, take me through it. You know this team, they've got most of the same players. They had a couple of, seniors from last year. They got a couple new players, but you know about their point guard, Cameron Hawken. This is a team that I think was a heavy favorite coming into the season. What's the urgency? What's your, give me the level of want as far as wanting to beat them, wanting to get past them and get back to the state championship game.
I mean, everybody wants to win. Every single person that plays a game of basketball. If you don't, why are you out here? And I think just with our team alone, we don't have that senior drive, but we have the drive. We were talking about it before the game, and they were like, we don't have any seniors, they have some seniors, so they're going to have the intensity. Well, it doesn't matter. It matters who wants to be out there, who wants to continue their streak, and everybody wants to end their game on, end their career on a win, or just even end their season, and that's what we need to do, and that's what we want to do, and that's what we plan to do. So, but hopefully we can get there.
All right, well, congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thank you very much.